All right, so looking at topic 7, now focusing on the times, as in comparing things by how many times bigger one is. So looking at practice problems 4 through 6. So number 4, we have Warsaw versus Gary. Warsaw had 11,000 people in 1990. Gary had 110,000, and we want to know how many times bigger was Gary. How many times bigger? You take the larger value divided by the smaller value. And this one comes out 10. So 10 times bigger. Putting that into a full sentence, I can just say Gary was 10 times bigger than Warsaw in 1990. Then in 2023, Warsaw had about 16,000 people. Gary had about 68,000. How many times bigger was Gary? So now taking 68,000 divided by 16,000, and that comes out 4.25. When we're saying how many times bigger, especially like if it's toward the middle, if it was like 4.5, I probably wouldn't round it. But 4.25, I might say round off and say like Gary was about 4 times bigger than Warsaw in 2023. Now, these sentences aren't necessarily completely clear if, like, just from the sentence itself, it might sound like we're talking about the area, the size of the city in that sense versus the population. So you could say Gary's population was this many times bigger than Warsaw's population, to be completely clear. But something like that. For Alex, if it's asking how many times bigger, you would just give the number, do any rounding that it instructs, but just give the actual number, not rounded, other than how instructed. Then number 6, we have these 2 planets. We're given their mass in scientific notation. So first, how many times bigger is the larger planet? First, we have to figure out which one is bigger. So when you're comparing numbers in scientific notation, the size of the number is first determined by the power of 10. Larger power of 10 is bigger number. You only look at the actual number parts if the powers of 10 are identical. So here, the 25th power is a bigger number than the 23rd power. So planet B is larger. How many times larger? We need to take the larger value divided by the smaller. And you really don't want to have to write out and count 25 zeros and 23 zeros. That shortcut is super important to learn and be able to do so that you're not having to do all of that extra writing and counting. So this is going to be 4 divided by 8, and then it's going to be 10 to the 25 minus 23. 4 divided by 8 is 0.5. 25 minus 23 is 2. And we're just doing standard notation here, so I'm not turning this into scientific notation. I'm just going to move that decimal point on the 0.5, move it 2 places to the right. So planet B is 50 times bigger than planet A. Or I might just be a little more accurate because bigger would imply volume, and you could have a planet, if it's more of a gaseous planet, it could be a much larger volume, but not a larger mass. So I'm going to say 50 times heavier. That could be argued too because weight is not the same. So I could say more massive if I wanted to be really technical there. But 50 times would be the answer there.